my name is Whiskas Pear and I'm going to be bringing you regular videos every week about Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon and other sorted games and tutorials and walkthrough and everything. Everything revolved around Pokemon. Pokemon on TV, even on McDonald's, toys, everything. Everything everywhere. And the top thing that went around was rumours and glitches on Pokemon Blue, Green, Red and Yellow. Now this episode is mainly going to be based on the top 10 myths and conspiracy theories from the first generation. So that counts as Pokemon Red, Blue, formerly known as Pokemon Green, and Yellow.
Starting at number 10 is Clefable and Gengar. Yes, you may have noticed that Gengar looks slightly just like Clefable. Now it says that Gengar is a shadow Pokemon, but exactly what a shadow of? Now if you compare both of them together, it looks like Gengar is Clefable's shadow. Their body shapes are almost exactly alike, with the only major difference being that Clefable has a curl for its hair and tail, while Gengar has spikes. For number 9 is the Naked Misty card. Now they released this in Japan and it had a picture of Misty hugging a Starmie naked. It was banned from being released internationally, so when they redesigned it, it was called Misty's Tears.
Like, what on earth were they thinking? Were they thinking, oh, maybe we should just put some boobs in there for the lols and make the children go all weird and petery like Brock? Ugh.
Number 8.
It's believed that Ash was put into a coma when he was knocked off his bike when he was taking Pikachu to a Pokemon Center. And it's believed that he got taken to hospital and was given heavy drugs, and that explains why Team Rocket became less menacing. Now, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because every single city that you go to, you see Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy. Those are the only two people that you see in every single Pokemon Center and around the towns. Now, for number 7, it's about your battle with your rival. Now, you must have battled your rival before, and they had Eradicate. Now, unfortunately, you hurt it so badly that your rival couldn't take it to the Pokemon Center fast enough, therefore it died. That's why when you go to Lavender Town in any Pokemon Generation 1 game, your rival asks you if you believe in Pokemon dying, and from that moment onwards, you don't see that Raticate ever again. Okay, number 6 is about the conspiracy about the Generation 1 games being post-war of Kanto. Now, there's loads of things that suggest this, like having numerous hospitals and gyms around, and it does make sense because your rival is an orphan, doesn't have any parents whatsoever, and your character doesn't have a father. And if you look around, all of the characters that are around are either kids, or the men are old, or in organised crime like Team Rocket. Especially when you go to the gym to fight Lieutenant Surge. Now he tells you that you wouldn't survive in the combat in war, which is really mean, but it's probably true. Number 5 is about the Ancient Mew card. Now, when you watched the Pokemon movie from 2000, you were given a card that was very special and it was very shiny. And it had the ancient drawing of Mew. Now, this is the card of Ancient Mew. And people had rumours that if you took off the top layer of this card, you would see the prototypes for the second generation. Now, I'm too scared to take mine off, but if anyone can do it, post it in the comments below and tell me if it's a troll or not. Number 4 is a very weird myth because it's quite true. Now if you look at the Pokemon anime, on episode 13, you and your pals go to Bill's house. Now on his door, they have the carvings of all the legendaries or the Pokemon that are related to legendary stories. Now if you look closely, there's a Mewtwo on there. But no one knows that Mewtwo has been created or is in creation until episode 63. Now it makes sense because he makes the PCs probably to store the stolen Pokemon. Now that's pretty creepy, isn't it? Myth number 3 of my choice is to do with Jinx. Now, Jinx didn't always used to be purple. It had a black face. Now, I'm sure most of you lovely followers will understand why that is a problem. Now, loads of people complained about it being racist because it was based on a black caricature from the 60s and the 50s, and soon after the complaints it was changed to purple. Now, myth number 2 is one of my favourites. It's a glitch where you get a Pokemon called Missing Number or just M. Now what you do is you go to the guy in Viridian City and it teaches you how to use a Pokeball. Now, he teaches you and then you fly off to Fuchsia City or Cinnabar Island and you surf and you swim up and down and then you encounter a Pokemon called Missing No. Now when you try to catch it, it'll catch, but then it'll still attack you afterwards. So you have to kill it, and then if you look in your Pokemon box or whatever you call it, it doesn't have a stable sprite. Now it's really creepy, isn't it? That's creepy. Now guys, my all-time favourite of all, the top number 1 Pokemon myth for me, or conspiracy, is when I was younger, I used to believe that to catch a Pokemon, you have to spam press a button. Now for me, my choice of button was the B button. Now I would just be sitting there, come on, catch it, go! I'm looking at the web and there's also different ones, like pressing A or trying to press all the buttons. How can you press all the buttons? How does that work? But yeah guys, that's all for this episode. Next week will be the 5 ugliest Pokemon of all the generations. Now subscribe and comment below on any other videos that you want me to do or any questions, and maybe I'll do a question episode. So see you guys soon.